Ok. Olá, pessoal. Estou aqui com prazer imenso entrevistando Tom Fleming. Deixa eu compartilhar a tela aqui. Let me share the screen. Here. Eu conheci o Tom Fleming no Brasil, em um evento do Sebrae de Economia Criativa, o Guia Prático de Economia Criativa, em 2018. Naturalmente, ele ganhou um origami especial. I am making an interview, my second English interview with Tom Fleming. He was in Brazil in 2018, and there was a great event of Sebrae. You know, Tom, I didn't know about this event the day before the event.
Yes.
And I asked my friend of Sebrae, please, I needed to participate of this event. It was a great event. Congratulations for this event. It was wonderful event. People love it, and I was very happy to participate of this event. But now I'm talking with Tom. He lives in London. He's one of the creative economy specialists. Can I say this? And Tom, please tell us, what do you do in creative economy, and how are you doing in these challenging times we live in?
Yeah, well, first of all, it's great to see you again. And thank you for sharing those memories from this Sebrae event. It was such a pleasure to be in Sao Paulo for that event and to meet so many wonderful people, including you. And it just reminds us of what we're missing now, the ability to have a room full of people and to exchange and to play and to be imaginative. And that's what it's much harder to do when we're at home, stuck at home in this lockdown. So in terms of my background and what I do, I run a research and consultancy organization, and we focus on creativity and arts and culture. And in any way we can, we try to support and promote the development of creativity and art and culture in all aspects of society, including in education, including in community, and for the economy. And we work all over the world. I set the company up in 2003, and since then I've worked in more than 60 countries, hundreds of cities, and we undertake research, we do consultations, and we do partnerships, and we try to position creativity as a renewable, sustainable resource for the betterment of the planet, fundamentally. And that includes a lot of work in Brazil over the years, and I really miss going to Brazil. I haven't been back since 2019, and I'm itching to come again, and we're all itching to move and to travel again. The pandemic has been challenging, I think, emotionally for me, and strategically, we've been very lucky in that there's been a lot of work because the whole cultural and creative sector has had to undertake a big reimagination process. It had to rethink its models, its role, how it's funded, how to reach out and connect with audiences and communities. So we've been very busy doing a lot of thinking and consultation about the crisis, but also about the future. It's been very frustrating because everything has been done by sitting at home, not being able to go and meet people. Obviously, we all feel this. Not being able to travel has been very challenging, but it's been a very different, but I think it's been a fascinating period as well.
Yeah, I will share the screen again to show the people your site. You don't have many images in your site, so I found here in projects a lot of interesting sites here. And if you can talk a little bit, I found some sites from Brazil, garimpodesoluções.com.br, garimpodesoluções.com.br, and this is a partner of you. And I am very curious about this site IPTI, Instituto de Pesquisas e Tecnologias. It seems a very interesting organization. Can you talk a little bit about this partner and the project in Brazil?
Yes, it is an amazing project. It's one that I'm so privileged to be part of and proud to be connected with. This is a long-term exploration project on what happens when you invest in creativity and social technology from the very basics of a community, from the grassroots of a community, and you work with a generation over a generation for 10, 15, 20 years to build capacity, confidence, and nurture the creative instincts of the population. So this is in Santa Lucia, a small settlement, a village in the mangrove in Sergipe state. And they have been investing through IPTI over the last more than 10 years now, a whole range of different programs. There's programs around health and well-being. There's a real challenge there about malnutrition and anemia. So they've been doing lots of projects that help to build awareness around diet, but also help in terms of diagnosis around certain conditions, endemic conditions like anemia. They have projects around creative entrepreneurship, all linked to the natural landscape of the mangrove. There's design companies coming out of this. There's visual artists, there's digital technologists, and they've been given a really supporting environment from their youth right through to adulthood to be able to explore how they connect their creative aspirations to real products and services as creative businesses. It's an incredible program, and they're just going from strength to strength. And it's led by this a really pioneering guy called Saulo, who is this impresario for the creative economy in Brazil.
Very, very good. And how about Garimpo de Soluções? They are a partner of you?
So they're associates. They're a consultancy company based in Sampa. They do a lot of work on the creative economy. Ana Carla Fonseca is their director. We met when we were consultants to UNESCO for their creative economy program. I met Ana Carla in Rabat in Morocco. And then we started to talk, and we got on well, and we realized we have complementary skills and interests. So I worked with her on a couple of small projects in Sao Paulo, and also she came over to London and she interviewed me for her book on the creative economy. So we stay in touch a little bit, and she's doing a lot of great work across Brazil and really promoting this creative economy agenda, although it's obviously difficult at the moment.
Great. And let me stop sharing a little bit. We have in this challenge time of pandemic, what are you doing? What are your main projects in the world that you are creating creative solutions using online solutions to help creative people? Because most part of the artists, they are not very good in digital. In Brazil, I have a lot of friends who are artists, but they don't know how to use this Zoom, other digital media to make something online. I have not the luck, but I work with digital since 1998. I used to have 3 digital agents before working with Origami.
Wow.
So for me, it's very easy to make the sites, for example, origami.club. I will tell about this later. And what can you tell or about projects helping people who are not digital going to digital? Which projects you are doing or promoting in the world?
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of research about this, and I think that there's a digital divide in the cultural sector or in the arts sector, but also within the population as a whole. So we have to not just think about how to build the digital capacity of the artists, but also of the audiences. And I think a central role there is the key organizations, cultural centers, creative organizations that are like hubs and can play an intermediary role to support artists, to provide targeted training. They can help them overcome their fear about digital, and they can look at new solutions in relation to digital. So we've been doing some research about how artists have responded to the pandemic. We're currently doing some research at looking at what the future of artist mobility is. So how can you travel without traveling? Or how do you balance the digital and the physical? And it's not just about the constraints of the pandemic, it's also thinking about environments in the future as well. And particularly if we're flying somewhere, we have to justify that for a whole range of different reasons now. We can't just say it's good for me. We have to think about whether it's good for everybody else. So one of the things that we've been doing is developing some tools that are providing advice to cultural organizations about how they build their digital footprint so they can work more effectively with the artists that are part of their community, so they can reach out to them, but also they can provide services like advice and networking to artists so they don't feel so isolated. And they have to focus very much on who is not in the room. So you said a lot of artists don't feel comfortable with the digital technologies. We have to focus on them first, because the people who are digital natives or digitally literate, they're already jumping ahead in this pandemic. They've found new solutions, whereas other people are getting further left behind. So our role is about research and problem solving and identifying best practice and new practice. One of the things that we've found in this year is that just before the pandemic, there was a real growth in immersive technology, virtual reality, augmented reality, and people assumed that that would be the next thing in terms of cultural consumption and also cultural production. But the pandemic has actually slowed down that part of digital because it requires having equipment that often is shared, and we can't do that because of the pandemic. And it also requires a nurturing environment where people feel comfortable with this new technology. And that's hard to do if you're by yourself in your house. So you need to go out and meet people to build that digital confidence and the digital capacity. But I do think that we might see a growth in virtual reality, immersive technology very soon as the pandemic reduces. And one example is around how, for example, you can experience nature, or you can experience mobility whilst being at home. So if you're, particularly for older people or people who haven't got access to transport, or people who just don't want to travel, I think there'll be an interesting new generation of immersive technology that will change the understanding of digital. And people who are scared of it now will actually, there's so much to benefit from exploring some of this new technology, but it needs to be supervised. They need people they trust to help them to learn about this technology.
Very good, very good. I'm very curious about some sites of the Gallery of the Arts in your project gallery here. I found this one, Arts of the All. It seems to be very interesting. Can you talk a little bit about this project?
Yes, they're amazing. I'm a trustee. I'm on the board of Arts for All. They were set up in 2001 or 2000 probably, and they are a very community-orientated organization. They provide art clubs and classes for children who are from relatively deprived backgrounds. This is in East London, and a relatively deprived part of East London. So they work with vulnerable young people and give them just an enriching experience being part of the community, being able to express themselves. They also have adult clubs. They work with adults with learning disabilities and different kinds of challenges. And they're really important for this is their family, these older people, these adults who participate in this. They live in care settings. So this is a moment where they can come out and express themselves and be part of something bigger. So they're only a very small charity, but they make such a big impact on the people that they work with. And it's another thing I've been proud to be involved with over the years. And the person that runs it Caroline is like a messiah for community engagement. she lives every second of the waking day is about thinking about this community and how she can enrich their lives and provide a safe space for their creative expression. That's Caroline. Yeah.
Very good, very good. I will show the only workshop I done last year, a paid origami workshop. It's this one. Do you know what's this?
Aeroplane or something?
Can you
A
guess?
gun? A gun?
It's origami. Look.
Ah.
It's very simple to understand because I make the fold this way. It's very simple to understand, okay?
Simple for you, not for me. It looks complicated.
But you can understand what we done here.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
only fold, we make this, okay? I make this workshop for elderly people. Look, it's origami lamp.
Wonderful. You see, I know if you lived in East London, Arts for All would have you doing origami classes every week.
Very good. I now my goal is to practice my English and to make origami class for all over the world. Yeah. But this class, it was very interesting because I was hired from SESC. SESC, it's a great organization in Brazil. I will show some screens here. But for elderly people, and you didn't use Zoom before pandemic. So this is the benefits of pandemic. I have more than 15 elderly women using the Zoom, and they teach in 4 classes. But look, I can do another thing here. If I make 2 pieces of this one, I can create this piece.
Oh, I see. You put them together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And my dream is because origami lamp, it's a great area of origami, and should be look at this, another piece.
Beautiful.
And it is not very easy, but it's possible to train people in other countries, and how to say, they can multiply the help elder people using how to say, I can teach you, for example, and you can help other people the child or the elderly people who are not very digital.
Yeah. So it's a great thing for, I guess, things like dementia, like keeping the brain occupied and problem solving. This is so good for older people.
Yeah, I can show you here some images I selected here. Do you know SESC?
I don't know. No.
Do you know SESC? No?
No.
Look, I love this because the first image, it's a lot of to-dos. SESC is one of the biggest organizations in Brazil who hire cultural artists. Yeah. Many artists live from SESC. But our problem is that SESC are closed.
Oh.
And a lot of people are in difficulties because SESC are closed.
Why are they closed?
Yeah, but I selected here some images to show you that origami can connect. Can connect us with our inner child. I think it's art. Everyone who make origami or other kind of artistic with hands, they connect with our inner child.
Absolutely.
But for me, origami helped to develop focus, mindfulness, and creativity. I love this one, this origami.
Wonderful. It's like carnival.
Yeah, I can show you. I have one here. And as you can see, I interviewed Robert Lang, and let me change here the view. Do you use Miro? Do you know Miro?
I know it. I don't use it. I know it. Yeah, I'm not very digitally literate myself.
I love Miro. And you saw Robert Lang, but I will put here in the show here, Robert Lang. I will introduce Robert Lang to you. I will send you an email introducing each other.
Thank you.
He's supporting me here. Wonderful. Let me see. The sound.
I'm an origami. Hi, I'm Robert Lang. I'm an origami artist, and I am supporting my friend Marcio Okabe in his bid to develop a marketplace to support origami in Brazil and around the world. Good luck, Marcio.
Yeah, the truth is that pandemic, it's been very interesting because my English is not the best one, but now I can transform this project in a worldwide project because origami.club can be understood in any country.
Absolutely. And do you have like modules? Do you have like the first thing you should do if you're just starting in origami, and then so it's like step by step?
I have my first, my not the first book, but this is a very important book because this book was bought more than 40 years ago because we lived in Iraq. I lived 2 years in Iraq. My dad worked in Petrobras. Petrobras, it's the biggest petroleum company in Brazil. And this book we bought in Japan. And this origami is one of the first complex origami I done, you know? Yeah. This is very great. But I don't have the first origami I done. But origami, I will show you that one. This one. These two are great. This origami appear in television because I participate in a television program called in Portuguese, Batalha Makers Brasil. In English, it's Makers Battle Brazil. It's a reality show from Brazil. And this origami appears in the television.
Oh, wow. That's gorgeous. It's like armadillo or something.
Yeah, we can use it. It's not, this object can be anything. A fish, can be a waves. It's amazing. What we can use to make storytelling. Yeah. So that's the reason I believe that origami is very interesting because I can teach this technique online. Yeah. But do you have a project using origami?
No, but I think I need to have a project using origami. And I think I want to introduce you to Salo in IPTI as well, because I think he would be very interested in what you're doing for the project in Sergipe as well. But I haven't got a project yet in using origami. It would be lovely to explore that.
Do you like Star Wars?
Yeah, well, you know, I was a kid once, yeah.
Yeah. Look at this one. This two.
Wow. I have to show my boys. I have to bring my boys into the room in a minute so they can see this.
Yeah, I can't teach this one.
No. They just need to see it. Yeah, it's amazing.
It's great.
Yoda and Darth Vader, yeah?
Yeah, but I believe that this kind of origami, I believe it's very interesting to teach because we use only one piece of paper, very simple, and we can mount with 6 pieces of this one. We can create this one.
That's so clever.
But the same piece, we can create this one.
Wow. See, that blows my mind. I have no idea how you got that.
a lot of pieces. Some origamis have names. For example, this technique, we call it the sonobi technique. But all kinds of origami who is modular, they have a name. It's kusudama. Let me show, because we are online. It's better to share. Kusudama is the name of this technique. It's modular technique. We make a lot of pieces and we create another one. But sonobi, it's this technique I used here. And the good news is that we have another simple. This, for example, it's simple sonobi.
Okay.
With only 12 pieces, you can make this piece of sonobi, you know?
Yeah.
And this is very great for you to do if your kid of 9 years old. 9
Really?
years is great to do these pieces.
Yeah. I'm going to try. I'm going to get some paper and work this out.
Tom, I will introduce you to a new friend of mine. Did you know about the Creativity Day that happened some weeks ago? Did you know about it?
In Brazil? Or
no, worldwide?
Yeah, the UNESCO, because it's the world year of creativity or creative economy. Yeah, UNESCO thing.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
And I have two things to talk to you. I can introduce you to Denilson Chicago. She's great. I am talking to him to promote origami because he is one of the most important people in Brazil in creativity. And he created the Fábrica da Criatividade. It's a beautiful place in Brazil.
Where is this?
It's in Capão Redondo.
Okay.
He created this. Look this, it's beautiful. In Capão Redondo, it's a place in Brazil, in São Paulo, that it's very violent, you know?
Yeah.
It's a community. And he created here because he wants to create social projects using creativity.
Looks incredible.
It's from Chicago. I will connect you. And and I have a dream because in Portuguese, we said that criatividade, it's the word, creatividade. Creativity is creatividade. And I love this kind of new domains, .club, .online. And I registered this domain to create something here. This is another guy, very, very creativity in Brazil, Henrique Sclor. Both of them were speakers in Creativity Day in Brazil.
Excellent.
I will connect you.
Please do. And you know, one of the things that I'm doing at the moment is working with different cities in Portugal. One of the cities is called Aveiro. And if you go on Google, Aveiro, and they have a creative and technology festival. And they also have a project about arts and creative education called STEAM City. And I would love to introduce you to them.
Can you share the screen? I think it's better for you.
You can let me.
Yeah, I allow you to share your screen.
Brilliant. Let me get online.
Because the maker culture, it's very important in these days. I believe that the maker culture can help everyone in the world to, how to say, because all the world have problems, and in Brazil, and I believe in other countries, they're artists. Let me see. In Portugal?
This is in Portugal. It's called Aveiro STEAM City. And there's a, one sec. Createch.
Createch Aveiro.
Yeah, so this is somebody we're working with. And there's a lot of community projects as well. And they had to do it all digitally, obviously, this year. So that's one project. And there's another one we've been working with, which is all about environmental sustainability, called Precious Plastics. And they're doing a lot of plastic-based art. But I think there's this connection in terms of recycling and using your hands and the different materials that would be relevant to the work that you're doing. And then another one we've been working with is, let me show you, is here. This place called the Making Rooms in the UK. And this is in Blackburn in the UK. And they have fabrication factory, they have lots of classes, studio programs. It's a really interesting place to go. And if you're a creative person like you, they do lots of classes and courses as well. So there are lots and lots of potential opportunities for connecting you to the global networks of creative hubs where your ideas and your creativity would be so relevant, I think.
Very good, great.
Yeah.
I will
and the other place I just want to show you, because which is the organization I'm the chair of, is this place. It's an art gallery, contemporary art gallery in the UK, and this is the organization that I'm the chair of, and it's called Sight Gallery. And actually their exhibition now is a Brazilian artist called Rafael Rosenthal. But they do a lot of digital work, but they also do lots of classes and physical work with, particularly around with young people. And they do a project called, I'll show you this. This is, they have this project called City or Society of Explorers with young people who work with the gallery. And they do lots of classes with them and training programs. So I can imagine, maybe I can tell them about your work and see if they could do something interesting, like a digital workshop or something, for origami.
Great. I will be very grateful.
Absolutely, I'd love to introduce you.
I saw this site in your project gallery.
Yeah. So it's just voluntary work for me because they're a charity, so I'm the chair of them. And I have this great building. We have this new building with this artwork. Everything is different today on the roof. Which is
very good.
Yeah.
Great.
So we should make some connections.
Very good. I have an idea. I will share you here. I will show my screen here. This photo, it's, do you know Marcelo Tais in Brazil?
No.
Marcelo Tais is a presenter in Brazil. He's like Oprah Winfrey for United States.
Okay.
Marcelo Tais, he's from Brazil. And this photo, let me put here in middle. This origami, it's very great. It's I made this tsuru with 2 meters of paper.
Wonderful.
I take 2 meters of paper and make this origami. So it's very, very, very good piece of origami. Let me show. This was a reality show called the Batalha Makers Brasil, Battle Maker Brazil. This is Marcelo Tais, this one. Okay. And the problem here is that they made a battle, but makers, they are collaborative. Yeah. We don't need to battle. And this is my chair. This chair was an origami chair, I can unfold this chair in the floor, and I can pick it up, and she fold and transform in a chair.
Fantastic! You're already winning.
No, it was very, very great. But the idea is that we can promote or create some kind of challenge, not battle, challenge maker worldwide. We can make something like this. Have you ever organized something like this? Challenge? Did you make something?
Yeah, when in Portugal, we had this program called Cidade Criativa for Guimarães in northern Portugal, and I was programming or the producer for the Cidade Criativa program, and we commissioned something called Pop-Up, which was lots of temporary interventions in public space through creative collaboration. So we had competitions, we had awards, we had a whole range of different things. Not exactly like that, because that's a TV program and they have big budget and everything, but we have lots of creative sprints and activities in that program. But most of my work now is more about researching what is happening rather than actually doing it. And then I spend a lot of time advocating for these kinds of activities to be more common.
Okay, but it should be very great if you can connect to Brazilian projects here, because I'm really a maker. I love to do things, and I believe that we have opportunities, not only for making, I'd say, what I don't like in this kind of events is that we don't create real things, because I want to create something like, for example, like this one, but I want to share and to share to who wants to produce this and earn money, sell in the cities.
Yeah.
And if you can help it to connect to people in Brazil, I can organize in Brazil some.
Definitely.
Instead of a battle, we can say the challenge of creating real things in to help people in this pandemic situation.
I'm going to connect you to people in Brazil and also to people in Europe. And we do a lot of work as well in Asia and Africa, mostly through governments and sometimes with the British Council. But I will try to think about where there could be opportunities to connect you with those contexts as well. But certainly,
I have a curiosity. In UK, homeschooling is legal.
It's legal, but it's not very common. You have to really justify it for special reasons. But we've been doing it all year because of the lockdown. But we had to stay with the curriculum. It's so hard.
Because I discovered unschooling or homeschooling 8 years ago in 2013, and my son Rafael, he started unschooling, because you have homeschooling. People say homeschooling in Brazil when you study at home, but you follow all the rules of the education system. But then we decided to make my son go free. So he decided what to study, what hour, what he wants. And so we decided to go to the unschooling system. That's much more free. And now we are very happy because he discovered that he loves to make game development, and he's going very well with the 18 years old. But I'm saying this because in these crazy times we're living, 2 years with pandemic, people should try to make it the real homeschooling. And
exactly. I think if we had the freedom over the last year to create our own curriculum in our house and not have to do all the school ones, everybody will be more relaxed, first of all, which is important if you want to learn. And secondly, I think we would have found some areas where my children are really, really interested. But instead, we've had to go across all of the curriculum every day, having new tasks from the school. And we feel like the pupils as well, as the parents. So it's been not very not very easy, and I don't think it's the most effective way for the children. But I guess we thought it was only going to be for a few months, so you kind of go with it. But now we know it's longer. We would do it so differently.
Okay, we can have two people creativity. It's dangerous because you can talk hours and hours.
Yeah, I better. Yeah, I need to go.
But
yeah. Can I just can I introduce you to my children, because they would, so they can see your origami.
Okay, please.
Boys, are they in bed? Oh, they don't want to come and see some origami. Okay, right. I'm going to bring you to. I've got all this equipment tied to it.
You need to bring the notebook to them.
Can you come here? Yeah, I have this camera on this. I have a microphone attached to it. It's like all these, so many things. Come here.
I understand. You have. Hi.
This is that's the 3-year-old. That's the 9-year-old. Come on.
Hi.
Me Marcio, he's in Brazil.
Hi. What's your name?
Xander. My name is Xander. My name is Minlan. And I'm a Luca.
Okay, my name is Marcio.
This is Marcio.
And look at this origami. Do you want to learn
Wow.
it? Very good.
Sense.
I gave it to your father one of these, but if he can find you can learn it.
I'll find it. Yeah, I put it in a
But
pot.
look,
Very precious.
Oh, your
Isn't that
mom
clever?
should love this one because it's the same. You know, you notice that it's the same. Only the size.
Did you make that?
Only the size it changed, but this one can be an origami lamp.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah. How did you make it?
Look.
Whoa. It's on the watch.
How did you make it?
Do you see that? Nanda?
We take a piece of
How
paper.
did you make it, origami?
We just fold. It's very simple.
It's so cool. Yeah.
We can schedule a origami class and I can teach you this origami, you know?
Yeah, we should do that.
Because it's like when you learn it 2 or 3, it's the same, you know?
Yeah,
So
amazing.
I can teach you one class and then you can start doing, and then
Let's do that. We'll arrange it. You tell us what we need to buy for the right paper and all these things, and we set it up.
Yeah, and I developed this table. I made in laser cut all the markers, but we don't need the laser cut. You can do with a pencil here, you know, with a pen. Can you see?
Fantastic.
And I use this to make this fold.
Ah, I see.
You know, I can use this table to make the.
Wow. You see?
Yeah.
I will record a class, a video tutorial teaching, and you need only to buy the paper.
Right.
And I will teach you how to. It's very simple.
Yeah.
You can get a piece of wood and make this. I will record a video class teaching.
Brilliant. Let's do that. Yeah, and then I can promote it.
Yeah, it's very, very good. But
Fantastic.
let me show a big one. This is
going to show you a big one.
One big one. This one is very good.
What?
But I have one.
So cool.
I have almost 2 meters of paper here. Because I have 9 centimeters here and 9 centimeters here, you know. And
Wonderful.
when I fold
How did you make it? How long did it take you to make it?
this one, 1 hour.
What?
1 hour. But this one is even better.
Whoa. Is that like a...
Look at this.
Look at that.
I really like that. What did you make it?
Look at this. We
Whoa,
start
it's like
with small.
Wow.
and finish big.
I actually like that one.
That's
This
incredible.
one
George.
is a big triangle. Let me share the screen here. It's a big triangle. It's my biggest origami. You can find origami. Tessellation is the name of technique, you know?
Yes.
Tessellation. And gigante. Gigante is giant in Portuguese.
Gigante.
And I record a time-lapse video. I love this kind of video.
Boys, can watch this other.
I took more than 3 hours, 2 hours, 3 hours folding. Look at this. It's a big triangle with more than 3 meters of paper.
Incredible.
It was very, very funny to do this.
Yeah.
And then I finish.
Wow.
And I use it in Sasky. Look at this. Look at this Yoda. This Yoda has 3 centimeters.
Wow.
3 centimeters of origami. This Yoda.
So talented.
And this is a great big Yoda.
Boys, I think you need to give Marcio a round of applause, yeah?
Because this workshop of Sasky, they want little pieces and big pieces. They tell that we need to make it small origami and big origami.
Yeah.
And I thought, how can I make it in the same origami, the small and the big? And I created this one.
Transferable, yeah. Brilliant. Yeah. Well, so boys, say thank you very much to Marcio for showing you that, and we're going to we'll arrange.
Let me introduce my kids.
Oh, yeah, see his boys in Brazil. Come and see.
My kids.
Okay, he's in Brazil.
Look. Aqui, são os filhos dele, Caio. Fala hello.
Hello.
What's your name?
Caio.
Caio.
Say boa tarde.
Boa tarde. Boa tarde. Banton.
And let me introduce my other kid.
Bom dia.
This one is big. It's a big kid. He's 18 years old, Rafael.
Hello. Hey again. Say boa tarde.
Boa tarde. Boa tarde. Banton.
He's dividing doing games.
Oh, Banton.
Boa tarde is good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yeah. And boa noite is good night. Yeah. So boys,
boa
you
noite,
go to bed now.
good night.
Good night. You say goodbye.
Good night.
Okay. See you later.
Good night.
Okay. No, bye,
Great.
Thank you for that, Marcio. So shall I do a promotion for you, like something about supporting you? Would you like me to that you can use? Hey.
I think this kind of interaction is great because it's the real life, you know. Before pandemic, we have all that, Sebrae, Sasky. Now we are at home, online, in our home. I believe the post-pandemic will be very, very great word. I believe that we are living in a transition. Most part of people can't see the transition, you know?
Yeah.
I love this metaphor, you know, the fish can see the water. You know this one?
Yes.
Because most people don't know this metaphor. Metaphor?
The fish can see the water.
The fish can't see the water, and instead she jump out of the water, so can see.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, because that's what we're doing now. We're out of the water. Yeah.
Yeah, because now we are living the transition, like industrial revolution, the information revolution. Now how can we tell this revolution? The
No one
human
knows what to
revolution?
call it. Yeah.
But I believe that we have great things when the post-pandemic. And my real dream is to transform this in a marketplace. So I'm looking for investment, and I believe that Origami Club can be a kind of a crowdfunding campaign.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
I need to look for Kickstarter. Should be a great platform, but I need to find someone who lives in the United States, because I can't start a Kickstarter campaign living in Brazil.
Really? Well, it's another good reason for you to talk to my friend Saulo in Sergipe, because every year they have a fundraiser in New York. So he has connections in America and patrons, and because I think he had the same problem that you have. He couldn't fundraise in Brazil, so he's found a way to fundraise in the US, and also he does some work in Europe as well. So I think you'd have a very nice conversation with him. Yeah.
I will be very grateful, because I'm the artist, but I don't know the path to look for this kind of investment.
Yeah. Now I will introduce you, and he can at least tell you what he's learned for this experience in the last 10 years of trying to raise money for creative projects.
Okay,
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So the conversation was great. My English is not very bad.
Good, it's good. Bon. It's good.
I need to practice a little bit, but this is the word. I believe that in Brazil, who didn't study in English, and it's the most part of a Brazilian, it's a very huge problem. But I believe that we can organize events with interpreter, with people translating, and we can organize the origami classes with the kids.
Exactly. And I'm definitely going to connect you with my friends and colleagues in Portugal, because it's much easier for you there. And they would be so interested, I know.
It's much easier, but I have a little challenge for us. We can organize the origami class with our kids, and we can invite an English professor to help the connection.
Sure, yeah, the translation, yeah.
I think it should be very, very funny, and it should be, maybe we can discover a kind of different classes for English teachers all over the world to help this meeting.
Like a model, yeah.
Yeah, we can discover the model and how to say, replicate,
yes, yeah, replicate, yeah. Well, okay, let's do that. Let's work it out. And if you need me for any, just to give you any support or say anything, if you want any quotes, then just let me know. I'm happy to do that.
Okay, and let's organize a challenge of maker projects together. Yeah, you can connect me to someone who loves to make this kind of event. Okay.
Definitely, we'll look into it. We'll make it happen. Okay,
and
so
I will connect you to Robert Lang.
Please, yeah, and I will connect you as well to lots of people. So we will start making introductions.
Yeah, I will connect you to Robert Lang, and with Leo Braga. Leo Braga, it's a new friend. He works in SESC, and he is a kind of a curator. Can I say curator?
Curator.
Content curator. And he traveled many countries for SESC, and I will connect you both. Okay?
Brilliant. That was so kind. Thank you. Okay, let's build a community. Yeah. Thank
you very much. I will send the link of YouTube channel. I will make some edition or no, or I publish it directly, this video. Okay.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you so much, Marcio, for your time. Bye-bye. Have a lovely day.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Gente, foi muito legal. Adorei. Deixa eu colocar aqui. Pin. Opa, deixa eu mudar tudo. Full screen, gallery view. Gente, foi diferente. Foi legal. Deu para praticar o inglês, mas no final foi bacana. Achei que meu inglês não ia estar tão bom, mas foi muito bacana, muito bacana. E acredito que é isso. Acho que a gente precisa... se a gente começar a pensar, mas o inglês não está bom, não vou chamar... Oportunidades são como nascer do sol. Se a gente espera demais, vai perdê-las. Então, o Tom, ele topou, ele falou assim, que tal amanhã? Isso foi ontem que eu fiz o convite. Então, fica esse convite, pessoal. Fiquei muito feliz aqui, foi muito bacana. Eu acho que eu não vou editar esse vídeo, não. Já vou publicar direto. Acho que é o melhor. Gente, valeu. Até mais.